The ZORA'S, an aquatic race. They are seen in a lot of Zelda games, from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess to Ocarina of Time. But what happened to the ZORA'S after Ocarina of Time? Where are they in The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker? ZORA'S are aquatic, blue-skinned humanoid creatures that exist in Hyrule, Labrynna and Termina. While still generally humanoid, the ZORA'S resemble various marine creatures in their body structure. Most of them wear no clothes, but certain members of this species do wear clothing, such as the Zora guards in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. They are generally covered in silver scales, which gives them a pale blue shine from a distance. Where humans sometimes have long hair, average ZORA'S have a rare hanging tail extension of their head shaped like a tail of a dolphin. ZORA'S have two large fins located on their forearms, and some have smaller fins at their ankles. ZORA'S are incredibly skilled natural swimmers. The appearance of ZORA'S can vary greatly. Some are large and round like King Zora, while others are slender and small. ZORA'S are divided into two known major subspecies: the River ZORA'S and the Sea ZORA'S. River ZORA'S are known as the hostile enemy race that pops out of the water and fires energy balls at Link, whereas the peaceful ZORA'S are the Sea ZORA'S. Despite their names, both types of ZORA'S are known to inhabit both the sea and the bodies of fresh water. But there's one question about this race. What happened to the ZORA'S in The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker? They are nowhere to be found, and it has even been confirmed by a Zelda director that they went extinct. It turns out that the RITO are evolutionary descendants of the Zora. This can be seen in the game by the fact that Medli is a descendant of an ancient sage, who turns out to be a Zora. The RITO, also known as the Bird People, a race of bird-like humanoids in The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. Their main habitat is on Dragon Roost Island, an island on the Great Sea. No RITO is born with wings, and instead must visit the tribe's guardian, the Great Sky Spirit Valu, to receive one of his skills, which enables them to grow wings. Throughout a young Rito's childhood, he or she is called a fledgling, and is flightless without any wings. The difference seems to be noticeable due to certain physical characteristics. After a child reaches a certain age, they can only receive their wings after they receive a skill from the dragon Valu. Their wings are unique in that they protrude from their forearms, similar to where a Zora's fins would be. RITO are viewed upon by outsiders somewhat dubious. Still, RITO are widely accepted as mail carriers, as only they can traverse the seas without cumbersome ships. RITO are capable of flying quickly, and full-grown RITO can carry humans for a short time. The RITO people resemble condors or possibly hogs, and seem to have a relation with some sort of Native American culture, the most suggestible being Andean culture. Males have a dark skin, and the main theme of Dragon Roost Island contains some Andean instruments such as panpipes. But what caused the Zora to evolve into the RITO? This was caused by a certain event known as the Great Flood, that happened many years after Ocarina of Time. Ganondorf was able to break the seal of the Dark World and return to Hyrule in a wrath. As Ganondorf wreaked havoc on Hyrule, the people prayed that the legendary Hero of Time would reappear to save them all. But despite their desperate pleas, the Hero of Time did not appear. They had no choice but to appeal to the gods, hoping that they would save them from Ganondorf. The plan of the gods was to seal away Hyrule and flood everything so that Ganondorf and his army would remain frozen in time, forgotten at the bottom of the vast sea that now covered Hyrule. The people who built a new civilization above the floodwaters were instructed to flee to the mountaintops. Hyrule's mountaintops became islands on the surface of the newly created ocean, and the people that had escaped the flood formed new civilizations upon the surface of the sea, eventually forgetting about the ancient land of Hyrule that still existed at the bottom of the ocean, and the evil that had been sealed away with it. This probably forced the Zora to evolve into the half-bird, half-human race. They make multiple references to the Zora, which further confirms this evolution. The most convincing is the fact that Medli shares the bloodline of the Zora Earth Sage, just like how Makar is a Korok, a descendant of the Kokiri. Also, the symbol of the Zora Sapphire, which is used as the Zora's royal family symbol, can be seen in multiple places on the RITO's home of Dragon Roost Island. It is also on the clothing worn by some RITOs. ZORA'S and RITOs have many similarities. For example, the RITO have wings that hang down at their elbows, and the ZORA'S have fins at the exact same place. It is unknown why this change would have occurred, since the ZORA'S in Oracle of Ages have been shown to be able to live in the sea off the coast of the island. However, unlike the Great Sea, the ZORA'S seem to be living in a controlled environment without interruption from any other sea dwellers. As seen in Majora's Mask, the Zora have trouble living in water that is murky or not the optimal temperature, thus suggesting that the change in water conditions might have forced them to evolve. Also, as the Great Sea is quoted as being mainly devoid of fish to catch, it is possible that the Zora's main food source dried up, forcing them to become land creatures. Also, the Great Sea is filled with numerous monsters and other dangerous marine life forms. The Zora might have been forced to evolve in order to avoid being eaten or at least constantly attacked. This would explain why they now had to fly over the water rather than swim through it. The island the RITOs live on is probably Death Mountain, because this is the only big volcano in Hyrule which could have survived a flood. Valoo, the sky spirit who lives on top of the volcano, also has a hand in this, since he grants the RITO their wings. This probably helped the Zora in evolving into the RITO. And so the Zoras evolved thanks to the Great Flood and turned into the RITO in order to survive. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and subscribe to stay up to date.